Alright guys, in the previous sections, we learned about actions which indicate what happened in the application, and we also learned about reducers that update the state based on those actions. In this video, let us learn about the Redux store, which brings the actions and the reducers together. Right now, we just know one thing about the Redux store, and that is, for our entire application, we will always have just one store. Although the concept seems simple enough, the Redux store has a couple of responsibilities. First, it is responsible for holding the application state. Second, it exposes a method called getState, which gives our application access to the state it holds. Third, it provides a method called dispatch to allow any updates to the application state. The dispatch method accepts an action as its parameter. The store also allows our application to register listeners through the subscribe method. The subscribe method accepts a function as its parameter, which is executed anytime the state in the Redux store changes. Finally, you can also unsubscribe to the store by calling the function that was returned by the subscribe method. Now our goal is to implement all these responsibilities in our application. Let's start with the first one. The store has to hold the application state. If we go back to VS Code, you can see that we already have the state of our application represented by this single object. We now have to create a store that will hold this. And this is where we will introduce the Redux library. If this was a React application, for example, we would use the ES6 import. Import Redux from Redux. However, we are running this app as a simple Node.js application for which we have to use the require syntax. So const redux is equal to require redux. The Redux library provides a method called createStore, which we are going to use for, as you might have guessed already, creating the store. So const createStore is equal to redux.createStore. Now at the bottom, we make use of this method. Const store is going to be equal to the method createStore. The createStore method accepts a parameter, which is the reducer function. The reducer function has the initial state of the application. This is required for the store to make the state transitions based on the actions received. So that is responsibility number one. Redux store holding the application state. The second responsibility is to expose a method called getState, which gives the current state in the store. To implement this, I will go back to VS Code and add a log statement. Console.log initial state store.getState. Since we have not performed any state transitions yet, getState should effectively give us the initial state of the application. Alright, let's move on to the next responsibility. And I'm going to jump to responsibility number 4, which is the next logical step. The fourth responsibility is to allow the app to subscribe to changes in the store. That is achieved using the subscribe method. So back in VS Code, store.subscribe, and the subscribe method accepts a function. To keep our example simple, we are simply going to log the updated state. So an arrow function, console.log updated state store.getState. So that is our fourth responsibility. Now let's jump back to the third responsibility. The store provides a dispatch method to update the state. So back in VS Code, store.dispatch, and the dispatch method accepts an action as its parameter. Now you could directly provide the action if you want to, but we have an action creator. So as the parameter, we invoke the action creator, which in turn will return the action. And to cause a few more state transitions, I will dispatch the same action 2 more times. Alright, that is our implementation of step number 3. The final part is to unsubscribe from the store by calling the function returned by the subscribe method. Right now, we aren't capturing the return function from the subscribe method. So let's add const unsubscribe is equal to store.subscribe. Now, after all our code has completed, we can call the unsubscribe method. And that is pretty much it. We have implemented all the responsibilities of the Redux store. We can now test our cake shop application. In the terminal, simply run the command node index, and you should see the output log. We have 4 statements logged in the console. We have the initial state where the number of cakes is 10. And with each action of buying a cake, 1 cake has been reduced from the store. Let's trace the code to understand how each log statement is printed. The first line of execution we are concerned with starts at line number 30. This is where we create our Redux store. The create store method from the Redux library accepts a parameter. It is the reducer function which controls how the state transitions happen. Once the store is created, we log to the console the state of the application, which is in fact the initial state. So initial state, number of cakes is 10. After that, we set up a listener to the store. So anytime the store updates, we log the state to the console. When we dispatch the first action, the reducer sees that the action type is buy cake. It will then try to match this type with the switch cases. It matches the first case and then simply decrements the number of cakes by 1 and returns that new state. So now the store's state updated, the listener is called, which logs to the console the updated state. Number of cakes is now 9. Similarly, for the next dispatch, number of cakes is 9 minus 1, which is 8. And then for the final dispatch, 8 minus 1, which is 7. At the end, we simply unsubscribe to any changes in the store. This is pretty much the Redux pattern. You create a store, declare the initial state and the reducer, define your actions and action creators, subscribe to the store, dispatch actions to update the store, and finally unsubscribe to the changes. And this is really important to keep in mind. This is the essence of Redux. When we dive into a React application, this is exactly what we are going to do, but with a few helper functions. Before we wind up on this basic example, a quick note on action creators. You can see that we have an action creator, buy cake. Now you could by all means pass in the object itself as a parameter to the dispatch method. But by having an action creator, any changes to the action object will happen in only one place. Imagine you pass in just the object to every dispatch method, which is called in several places in your application. After a few days, if you have to either add a new property or rename a property, you would have to do it in all the 5 or 10 different places. So better safe than sorry and go with action creators instead of just actions. Alright, with that, I hope you now have a clear understanding of the 3 core concepts, the 3 principles, and how the Redux pattern works. Remember, understanding Redux is the foundation to understanding React with Redux. So if you're still unsure, please rewatch the videos before you continue. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.